Hey everyone, it's boyonline here, and today I was thinking that I wanted to make a follow-up video or a companion video, if you will, to my This is Human video as well as my Asriel the Knight video. And what better way to dive a little bit deeper into both of these two theories than reading your comments? So I was thinking that's what we're gonna do today. It's not gonna be like super edited and stuff like that. It's just gonna be me reading comments and responding to all you guys. Just quickly before we get into that, thank you so much for everyone that's been commenting on my videos recently. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos about deltarune. Because I know we all need more deltarune in our lives, and that would be pretty cool of you. So thank you, and let's get into the comments. Alright, first comment. I hate to shoot down your theory, but logistically it doesn't make sense if Des is human, if we factor in she is alluded to in Undertale. This would mean somehow a human was around in the underground throughout most of, if not all, of Noelle's life, and somehow was allowed to roam free. First of all, thank you for your comment. And I have to say, I see your point, but however, in Undertale, we walk around freely as a human basically all of the game. Because the monsters doesn't seem to know what a human looks like. And even if there would be some monster that did know what a human looks like, maybe let's say Asgore, why would he turn in his best friend's daughter, or take his best friend's daughter? That would be very weird. So I kinda see your point, but I don't agree really. But thank you for the comment. Okay, next one. Why does everyone think that Des is the knight? Carol is the knight. Well, let me put it like this. Carol feels like a very obvious red herring. There's a lot of things that hints toward her being the knight in chapter 4. Her cold demeanor, her katana, the fact that she knows about the code in the guitar, that she is very weird around Chris, and I get that, but at least to me it is such a obvious red herring. I don't think that Toby would make Carol the knight in the end, because it wouldn't be enough of a twist, I don't think any of the adults will be the knight. I get that it would kind of make sense, but to me this story is about the kids. And I mean, the adults do play a big role and important roles in many ways, but at the core it's the kids' story. I'm including Des and Asriel even though they're grown up now, but I'm including them in the kids. And I feel like you can kind of compare it to, let's say, Stranger Things, for example. There's a lot of adults in that show that play big important roles, but if you had to really boil it down to its core, to its essence, it's a story about the kids, really. And I feel that deltarune is very similar in that way, and there's a lot of other examples of this. So I feel like if the knight would be any of the adults, it would kind of take away a bit of the impact when we finally get the reveal, because it takes place in the world of the children, really. So yes, I can see how a lot of people could think Carol is the knight. I don't know, obviously this is just my personal take on this, but yes, for all the reasons I just said, I do not see that being the case. But thank you so much for your comment. Next one. Noelle was afraid of humans under her bed, and Chris used to scare her. So why would Noelle be scared if her sister is also human? This is a very good point, to be honest. And I don't know about this, honestly, but I could assume that maybe because Noelle was so close with Des, like they're sisters, Des wouldn't seem scary to Noelle because she knows her. But even though she and Chris were friends, they're not family really in that same way. And maybe she finds the concept of humans scary. So if it's any amount of like unknown territory, it would be scary, I guess. And on top of that, if Chris would be like acting scary and weird and she thinks the concepts of humans is scary, then I mean, yes, then she would feel scared, I guess. But I don't have like a clear answer to this. It's a very good point, and thank you for your comment. On to the next one. The only thing that make me doubt this is Asriel's preference. The guy has a thing for purple and dragons. Edit. I mean, she could be a monster similar to Susie, as all the people that don't find her intimidating or scary should obligatedly know Des. Okay, so I guess your point here is that Des could not be human because Asriel's preference is purple dragons. The only thing we really do know at all about that is the note that is left in Asriel's old clothes that Susie and Chris find in the church, and that note is written to Caddy, inviting her to dance or prom or whatever. So I don't like assuming that Asriel and Des was or is a couple in any way because we don't know. They could just be best friends. So like, I see your point. I obviously don't know, but personally, I don't like theories that are like based on ships that we have like no ground for. But I appreciate the comment. Interesting point. And on to the next one. Des is human. Asriel is the knight. But I know people aren't ready for that kind of truth nuke just yet. Yes. I 100% agree. That's why I put this in here. This is basically both of my theory videos. Just for fun, I agree, and I'm happy a lot of other people agree too. So that's fun. On to the next one. Could this imply some kind of parallel between the knight and Ralsei? Like, there are lots of theories on how Ralsei is somewhat related to Chris for obvious reasons. And if Des is human, could the knight be some kind of representation of her sister or her family? Like an alter ego made of darkness or something. I believe the knight isn't necessarily a lightener. It could be some kind of new creature, darkener or shell, even though it's obviously related to the Holiday family. Ralsei and the knight are both unique darkeners in opposite ways. One is the hero and one is the villain. Yes. I think this is a really interesting idea here, or theory. I do think that there's a lot of parallels between the knight and Ralsei. And honestly, whether you think Des is human or not, or that Des is the knight or Asriel is the knight, I think this could work. Because if Des is the knight, or like the knight is made from something in Des, then I mean, the knight would be a similar kind of creature that Ralsei is. Because I believe that Ralsei is not like an object. I think that Ralsei is an idea or something of Chris's. Whether it be like their ideal version of themselves or their ideal version of Asriel from when they were kids, I don't know. But something like that. And Ralsei is obviously like the good version of this kind of creature, where the knight instead would be like the opposite. I think this would work whether Des is a human or not, but I do like the parallel between Des has the knight as her like fantasy creature in the dark, or that maybe the knight is made from like her fears or something like that, and that Chris has Ralsei basically, but instead Ralsei is like a really positive, friendly, kind version of that. And if we would assume that Asriel is the knight instead, I think this parallel still works in a way, since Ralsei obviously is based on Asriel. It would be kind of a cool parallel between like the younger version of Asriel that Chris remembers, and this older, darker Asriel who wants to like avenge his best friend or something like that. I think it would be really interesting either way. So thank you for this comment, really interesting. And last comment from the This Is Human video for today. There's a how to raise a human book in the library. Could mean something. Also, I like the idea that the Roaring Knight have antlers because Des is wearing her toy antlers, and they give her power because this item makes her feel closer to the Holiday family and it's important to her. Yes, I think I mentioned in my Des Is Human video the book in the library, and if I didn't, let me mention it now. I agree that the How to Raise a Human book in the library could mean something. I mean, I guess that book could exist, and Toriel would be the only one checking it out, but the fact that that book even exists suggests that there are more humans in this world. There's just like, we only met Chris really, and we don't know where the other humans are, but they probably have been and could be more humans around. And I don't know where they would get this book from really, but I feel like if the library has it, someone else have checked it out. I don't know, maybe it is just Toriel, but I think it's interesting. Definitely, it could definitely mean something. And to the second part here, the idea that the Roaring Knight have antlers because Des is wearing her toy antlers, I think that's a really cool idea, because we do know that all of the like weapons and armors in the Dark World are just like pencils and stuff like that, and depending on how the wielder sees it, it becomes that weapon or piece of armor. So it would make sense to me that if you have something that's like really important to you, not just like a pencil or something, that it definitely could be like an armor with great power. Maybe in combination with like some soul stuff or some magic stuff, or maybe even like dust stuff. And I think this would work again, both if it would be Des that is the knight, or if Asriel is the knight. I think that would be a really, really cool idea. So thank you for this comment, and let's jump over to some comments from the Asriel is the Knight video. So BoxyFox12 left this super long, really awesome comment with like a lot of ideas and theories and facts that was like basically a theory video in its own. So I actually asked them on Reddit if it was okay that I included some of it in this video, because it was like so much, and it was okay. So I cut out 3 parts that I really liked. So let's get into the first one. From Asriel's point of view, no one else could search for Des. so he felt like he was the only one who could. Her mother, Carol, was too busy as the mayor. Her father, Rudy, was too sick. Her sister, Noelle, was too young. His father, Asgore, was let go from the force. The police chief, Undyne, didn't believe in dark worlds. He was expected to go to university and forget about her, but he just couldn't let go of his best friend, just like Kara in Undertale. Yes, I agree with all this. I think it really gives more like depth and background to what I said in my Asriel the Knight video. And I think it would give a nice parallel between like Kara and Des and Asriel in Undertale and Deltarune. I saw someone say it would be boring to have Asriel as like the last big bad again. But honestly, Deltarune is such a different story already, and it explores a lot of different concepts. It's way deeper, it has like way more detail. So yes, I think this really fits well. Honestly, it like sets his motivation in perspective, really. And I feel like a big theme, or something that could become a big theme in Deltarune, is the concept of like letting go and moving on, in contrast to all the mentions of don't forget about me. But if in the end it will turn out that Des actually is gone and you can't get her back in any way, I think that could be interesting as well. And all of the characters have like their own things they need to learn to move on from. Not forget necessarily, which I mean, in that context, don't forget I'm with you in the dark makes sense. Like, please move on, but don't forget. You will always carry my friendship or love and like this story, your adventures, like with you forever. But you can't live in the past. And I think it feels like, to me at least, that like a lot of the story could build up towards a moment where a lot of the characters just have to learn that lesson, basically. Like, we can keep this, like the memories and all our adventures and experiences with us, but we also have to move forward. Life moves on. We can't live in the past. And if Asriel is the knight, him not being able to let go and becoming the villain from that would be honestly really awesome in a way. And I think it really would differentiate it from Undertale in a meaningful way. So it's like similar but not exactly the same. So yeah, awesome. And thank you BoxyFox12 for the comment. Let's move on to the next part. Okay, Spamton says, speaking of communion, Chris, did you know that the knight... No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It seems like Chris threatened Spamton into silence so he wouldn't expose the knight. But we get one word, communion, a religious concept. Father Alvin tells us that Asriel is religious, and that he would confess to sin despite that not being a part of the religion. And again, I think this is very interesting. What sins is Asriel confessing to? Because if we are meant to just go off like the information we learn from friends and family around the town, I mean, he seems like a really good son, a really good friend, a really good student. What is he confessing to? That part really like plays into the fact that he is up to something that kind of eats maybe at his conscience, and he goes to church to like confess his sins, because he knows maybe on some level that I'm doing something wrong, but I have to do this. And I think that would be again, like, it really gives this theory a lot of depth to it. Asriel struggling with losing Des, going to like great lengths to try to get her back, maybe doing a lot of things that he knows are really bad, but he feels like he has to do it. So yeah, again, more depth, more meaning and motivation, and very interesting. Then below that, Undertale's anniversary livestream included a list of cut content, such as Asriel's bat. Yeah, that was a little cool little behind the scenes thing that Toby dropped on stream. I mean, since it's cut content, it's not canon as far as we know yet, at least. But it is interesting. Okay, last part of that first comment. If the knight were Asriel's OC, wouldn't it have giant rainbow wings, like his computer suggests? If you visit Rudy and inspect the angel doll, he says that Chris and Asriel wasted time trying to make huge wings for it. Asriel learned his lesson and doesn't include wings in his OCs anymore. Yes, very good point. And again, we can tie this back to the anniversary livestream, because Toby actually comments on Asriel's form in the end of Undertale. He basically says that, well, this is like really over the top, and he says that this is basically what a kid would think would be like the coolest form ever. Asriel was really young, and like the god of hyper death. I mean, that is like a kid's image of what is super cool. Then, I mean, I'm not a kid and I think it's cool, but that's besides the point. The fact that Asriel is grown up now, I think would back this more mature, dark OC or like form that the knight has or is. If Kid Asriel thought that the god of hyper death with the huge wings and everything was super awesome when he was a kid, but now, especially if he's maybe not in the best headspace, losing his friend and trying to find her or get her back in some way, or avenge her or something like that, this like dark knight would make sense as his like grown up version of a dark world form, basically. If you take that into consideration and run with what I said in this theory that he picks up Des's bat and her toy antlers, if she's a human, and they become his armor with all this like angst and darkness, it kind of makes sense. And let's say Des is not human, I still think that if he does this in like her honor, or he wants to like be her knight, he tries to like find her somewhere, his feelings about her and like as his like friend and the loss and the grief, I think he could manifest those antlers on his helmet anyway, even if it's not like the toy antlers. Or maybe if she's a monster and she like died or fell down and became dust, we know now that like dust in an item can become like manifest the memory of the dead monster. What about dust and a person, like, or dust and a monster? What if they like carry that with them? Could that become an armor? Or maybe it's her dust and her bat or something like that, and that's the knight. Who knows? But there's a lot of interesting things surrounding all of this, and I think this was a very good thing to point out. So thank you again, BoxyFox12. And speaking of that, here's the last comment, and it kind of touches on some of the same points here. Good video and some fair arguments. Thank you. But I really doubt Asriel could transform into the knight just by putting on a headband. The knight is an extremely powerful and strange creature that is nothing like the normal transformations Lightners do when they go to the dark world. Also, I feel like your point about Asriel being able to sneak around in hometown doesn't make sense, because he's not supposed to be home from college. Toriel thinks he's there. If he was seen in hometown, Toriel would know he's a liar. If he had something to do in hometown, why wouldn't he just actually come home early? Also, I just feel like it wouldn't be very satisfying writing if Asriel was the villain twice in a row, and all the Death Knight foreshadowing was a misdirection. Some good points here, and thank you for your comment, first of all. And the first part there I kind of answered already with the last comment. So let's move down to why, if Asriel could be sneaking around hometown. I get your point here. My point with this was kind of like, if it's death, how did the knight exit the dark world and run down to the shelter, risking being seen? Sure, because someone did do that, and if Death is actually gone, how can she be in hometown? How can she exit the dark world? That doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, unless she like hands over Undyne to someone in the light world that runs down to the shelter. Sure, that could be the case. But to me at least, it makes more sense if it's like grown-up Asriel. He's probably big and strong because Asgore is big and strong, and their plan there at the end of chapter 3 obviously doesn't go exactly as they wanted it to. Maybe it wasn't like optimal to have to run down with Undyne to the shelter, but they could risk it, you know. And I'm rambling here, but my point is basically, if Death really is gone, how can she exit the dark world? And if the knight is like Ralsei and is like a dark world exclusive, if you will, character, or basically like a manifestation of a thought or a memory or something like that, how could it exit the dark world? And if it's an item, how could it exit the dark world? It like almost has to be Asriel when you think about that, unless, like I said, the knight hands over Undyne to someone in the light world and they run down. But yeah, to me it makes more sense. And like, again, back to what my point was, Asriel could risk being seen there, because Asriel, as far as we know, exists and is like alive in the regular world. He's been away at college. It would make more sense for him to be caught and then come up with some explanation like, oh yeah, I came home early, mom, I'm sorry, I wanted to surprise you. Then let's say Death being caught and they were like, oh, where have you been for 7 years? You know what I mean? So that was basically my point. I was rambling a lot. I hope it made sense, but that's what I wanted to say with that. Thank you so much for your comment. Thanks for all the comments. I really appreciate it. This is exactly what I hope would be possible when I started making these videos, to actually have kind of a conversation with other people that also really love deltarune. an Undertale. I think for me it gets more interesting when I get input from you guys, because in the end I don't know what is going to happen. All this is just theories, and theories is guessing, really. And so I really appreciate hearing what you guys think. So thank you all for leaving your comments, and I hope you will keep leaving comments, and I will keep making videos. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for commenting. Please hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!